Hey Apartment Therapy, I'm Emily. Welcome to my 230 square foot apartment in Brooklyn, New York. Before I moved into this apartment, I was living with 2 roommates in the East Village in Manhattan, and so post-pandemic, I decided to move into my own place. I was searching Street Easy 3 times a day, trying to find an apartment within my pretty low budget and around the Park Slope area because I really loved having access to the park. I was the second person who ever viewed it, and I knew immediately this was my spot. Going from having 2 roommates in a very tiny apartment to living in my own very tiny apartment myself was kind of a big change, but luckily I wouldn't say a minimalist, but very good at getting rid of things, so it ended up working out for the best and everything I had was able to fit in this space. The best things about living alone are that you always know whose dishes are in the sink, you don't have to share your bathroom, and you know that what you're vacuuming up is all your own mess. My piece of advice for living in a small apartment is to have spaces where you can walk. If you can't get around comfortably without bumping something, it's gonna make the space feel so much smaller. I don't really know how to describe my style. In some ways it's very maximalist, in other ways it's very minimalist in that I don't keep a ton of stuff that isn't useful to me. So I would say my style is kind of utilitarian, but definitely whimsical. I think bright colors catch my eye, very pretty little things. My inspiration for my apartment aesthetic mostly comes from the fact that I'm an impulse shopper, which is, confessions of a shopaholic, but if something catches my eye, I want it. My rule is that I can't get it unless I know where I'm gonna put it. In that way, I feel like I can rely on my own personal sense of style. So I don't just have a living room, I have a living room, kitchen, entryway, which I think is really special. The space is small, you can't get around the fact that the space is small, so I decided to lean in and make it cozier, paint the entire place this dark green color, and then lean into the warmer tones in there to make it feel cozy and homey. Everything in this apartment is exposed to you all the time. The dirty dishes are in the living room. It's a 5-foot distance from the living room to the dirty dishes. And so keeping everything clean, keeping everything organized, everything has a space is super important in this room. Whenever I walk in the door, I have a drop zone, but what's uncomfortable is that the drop zone for the entryway is also in the living room, and so it has to look nice enough to live with every single day. This is where I entertain guests with my 1 chair. I couldn't fit a couch in this room if I wanted to keep the litter box cabinet, and the litter box cabinet is very important to me. It's one of the first things I bought for this space. Sometimes you walk into people's house and you're like, that's the dog corner, that's where all the dog things are. And I just never really liked that. I like whenever pet supplies are tucked away, are made part of the home, and aren't immediately obvious. And so if you open this up, there's a drawer inside where I keep my aquarium materials, I keep the litter box stuff, I keep my cat sweaters that they really, really hate, so we keep those away. And I could not fit a couch while keeping this piece of furniture as well. So what I ended up doing is going to the West Elm outlet in Industry City, and I walked around until I found this, which is actually the corner of a couch, but it was being sold separately. It had been returned or had an issue of some kind, which I've never seen. I ended up taking it home that day, spent way less money on this than I probably would have on a traditional chair, and it gives me so much more flexibility. And then I found the ottoman. So the ottoman is from Joss in Maine, which I bought online, and it was really important to me that the ottoman and the chair were the same height, because I wanted to create kind of a cohesive single piece of furniture feel for this. And what's especially lovely about the ottoman couch corner combo is that I can turn the ottoman sideways and essentially create a twin size bed. And twin size sheets fit, and so whenever I have a guest, they kind of have their own room out here in the living room. My cousin, not to brag, got a 96 sleep score on this thing, but I think it's just because his kids weren't here. 96! Also in my living room, on top of the litter box cabinet, I have my aquarium. I've had this aquarium in some iteration for several years, and I originally had it because I had a betta fish. And as you can probably see, there's no fish in there. I had the fish for about a year before I got a snail, and then the fish died really unexpectedly. And now I've had the snail in that tank for 5.5 years, and she's the only thing in there. And she's about the size of my thumbnail, and her life expectancy is 1 to 2 years. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but she's still alive and seems to be living her best life. But the aquarium, I'm not touching it. I replace the water, I keep it as consistent as possible for my elderly snail, and I feel like a Midwestern dad just trying to wait out the 17-year-old dog. I also have a tattoo of her. Whenever she outlived her life expectancy, I was like, I'm getting a tattoo of that snail. So over on the other side of the living room, I have two pieces of furniture that are the exact same height. It was very important to me that they were the exact same height. I've had the bookshelf for as long as I can remember. I stole it from my mom's house whenever I went to college, and it's very old and I'm never getting rid of it. Solid wood furniture from the 90s, we're never gonna have that again. The cabinet I got at World Market. I love World Market. I'm obsessed with World Market. Don't talk to me about how the one here closed. I'm very sad about it. My proudest DIY is probably my cat shelves because they do get quite a lot of use. I was a little iffy whenever I first put them in. It took a couple of weeks for the cats to get used to them, but now they're up and down all day and causing a ruckus. I have 2 flat shelves and 2 stair shelves, all of which I drywall anchored myself. And then the climb up pole, which is actually just a pole that I bought at Lowe's and wrapped with rope and super glued together and then mounted to my wall. One of the cats really likes it. The other cat wants nothing to do with it. So, 1 out of 2 is not bad. But the other things on the wall are kind of dictated by the cat shelf. And this iteration has 4 mirrors altogether, which is really nice for whenever I'm checking how I look whenever I leave the house. I used to not have anything there, and I'd get outside and be like, do I have blood? Do I have blood on my face? Is there something on my face? Why are people looking at me? But now I know. I don't. I look normal. I really enjoy photography. I don't know that I'm very good at it, but I like printing out the photos that I do have and putting them on the wall. And so you'll see around my house tons of frame photos from different stages of my life, photos that I took, photos that other people took. And it's really nice to look up and just see, oh, there's my brother and our childhood dog, or like, there's my cat who's also right here. I was really lucky whenever I moved in that the kitchen had been recently updated. It's nothing fancy, but all the cabinets are really solid. They were clean. The backsplash is lovely. I really, really like the red. It honestly has played a huge role in me cooking more, in me feeling comfortable being in the kitchen more, because it doesn't feel dingy and gross like some New York apartment kitchens. Everything above my cabinets used to be on the cat shelf wall, and one day I just took them all and moved them up there. It's kind of just a conglomeration of personal nostalgia. 3 out of the 4 larger pieces were made by different friends of mine. I have a photo of Christopher Reeve, the best Superman. I love him a lot. I actually got that from an Applebee's that was going out of business. And my mom took me there and was like, get whatever you want. And it was $2. So it was very exciting. Every year or so, I will pick a new corner of my apartment that I feel like I haven't really given enough attention to and completely redo it. I am reaching the end of that because I've run out of corners. But one of the more recent corners that I did was my office corner. Before, it was not super functional. It was fine. It was a fine place to work. But hanging the shelf that I have in there now, hanging the curtain, painting, and then printing and framing all of the posters from the short films that I've made really makes it feel like a space where I can work, I can stay focused, and I enjoy being. And the addition of the bookshelf, which also is from the Buy Nothing group, made it so I can keep all of my physical media over there as well. My books, my CDs, a couple of my records, not my DVDs, those are in the living room. Very important to have physical media. My gold bed frame, I also got off of the Buy Nothing group, if you can sense a theme here. I have a full-size bed. A queen would be entirely too big for the space. Under my bed is absolutely stuffed with stuff in an organized way. So underneath there, I have all my film equipment. I have my large suitcase for traveling and storage. I keep everything under there. I have my TV mounted on a wall, the TV and the mount, both from the Buy Nothing group, but I added the gold tape on because the black look of the TV just wasn't really working for me in the space. I think I wanted something lighter, something that was less electronic. I also have some live plants in my bedroom. I think it's so much easier to care for them whenever they have an artificial light on a timer. It provides a lot of consistency, and the vines in my bedroom are kind of starting to take over the wall, and I think I'm just gonna let them. I have a very short little closet that is exactly the height that it needs to be for me to walk into it without crouching. There are 3 shelves, and so it offers like 4 different sections to put things. I have at the bottom my suitcase and the extra litter box for whenever I travel with the cats. On the second level, I have a large tote in which I put a lot of different odds and ends, things that I use somewhat frequently, but not frequently enough to leave out. On the third level, I have my towels, and I have different bags. I frequent a climbing gym, and so I have my materials for that in there, as well as my backpack. And on the 4th level are all the stuffed animals that I felt guilty about leaving behind at my mom's house whenever I moved out. Every time I go back, there's a new one staring at me with its big eyes, and I know I have to bring it with me. And I feel like I'm not a good stuffed animal mom. I feel like Toy Story 2 really messed me up. Like the whole Jessie thing, the when she loved me, that's, oh my God, I can't. So I keep that door shut a lot. I'm on the first floor, but I do have a skylight in my bathroom because of the way the building is shaped. There's kind of a cutout in the middle of it. The cabinet that I got in there had to be slightly modified because it couldn't quite fit behind the toilet. I had to move the bar around to get it to fit, but I knew I wanted it. And I keep it pretty meticulously organized because I have a ton of bathroom stuff that needs a place to go. I just think it is the most maximalized room in my entire apartment. And what's really nice is that whenever the hot water comes on, the floor heats because all the pipes for it are underneath there. So sometimes in the winter, I have a heated floor. Okay, I have a squatty potty. Either you've heard of it and you love it, or you've never heard of it before. And it's just this little step that goes near your toilet. And whenever you have to take a number 2, you put your feet up there so you can squat like our ancestors did over holes in the ground. It's supposed to help with bowel movements. I think it does, but that's up to you. Maybe get your own and figure it out. My advice to building your apartment and buying new things is that if you need to buy something, make sure that you're picking things that are in line with the vision that you have for your apartment, even down to like phone cables. The other day I was out and I needed a new phone cable, so I went out and I found one that was green, that kind of matched my walls. And so if you need something, really think about it. Don't just buy it because you can, because it's easy, because those are the things that are gonna get thrown out in 3 years whenever you don't like the style anymore. The Buy Nothing group on Facebook is your friend. What that is a communally based and run Facebook page for your specific area. It's all free. You're not allowed to charge anything for it. You can find so many incredible things on there. Both of my living room lamps are from there, my bookshelf, my TV, and the mount that it came with. There's so many things that you can find on the Buy Nothing group. And you can also give away stuff that you don't want anymore on the Buy Nothing group. I have a mantra. My mantra is help out future you. Do things today that you're really not gonna wanna do tomorrow, but that you would like to have done. I really recommend just settling in, claiming your space, even if it is temporary. Make it what you want so that way you can finally relax and feel comfortable in your own space. To me, home is a safe landing space. It's a place where you go where you know what's gonna happen. It's sometimes hard being a person with anxiety and OCD to be out in New York City. There's a lot of chaotic stuff going on. I can put myself into camp mode, go out into the city, live my life, have fun, not think about it, because I know at the end of the day, my home is gonna be there waiting for me. And it's gonna be exactly as I left it. Because again, I'm the only one who lives here, unless she does something to it, which does happen sometimes.